The vegetable farmers of the world have equipment that electronically detects the shrews and moles and other rodents, and it avoids them.
Well, a warm welcome to you all. This video is taking you back in time to one of our biggest pre-carnivore regrets. I'm JJ, I'm a life coach, and I eat mostly meat.
I'm Eric, I'm a novelist, and I eat only beef, bacon, butter, eggs, and coffee, sometimes chicken.
But still carnivore.
Still very carnivore.
In this video, we're going back in time.
Yes, and we're gonna take you with us to the bad old days.
To the very bad old days.
We've talked about this on a live in the past, and many of you said, yes, that was me. And so we're gonna relive it and we're gonna laugh.
Are you ready to laugh?
I love to mock my past self.
Oh my goodness. I was cleaning out my recipe book cabinet today and came across the green smoothies diet.
Yes.
I think I can get rid of this one after this video.
Or should it go into the Hall of Ignominy?
Oh, maybe.
After Sick, Fat, Nearly Dead, we did a little juicing phase. That did not last. And mostly because the cleanup was just impossible.
Yeah.
That juicing machine.
And buying
Yes.
all of the produce needed to juice a small glass.
Yeah.
It was a lot,
But it was very sweet if you put a lot of fruit in it.
which we did.
Yeah. But then quickly found green smoothies on YouTube and got really super excited because as a picky eater as a kid, I had lived many decades feeling like I'm not getting enough veggies. I am going to die early and be sick and have all of the diseases because I'm not eating enough veggies. And in a way, I kind of dodged a bullet
In a way,
all
you
those
did.
years not eating all those veggies. Hadn't thought about it until just a second.
Yeah, maybe that was the secret.
So, but as I got into like, okay, now I'm going to be an adult and I'm going to take charge of my health. I don't know why I suddenly had a slight English accent. Today I'm an adult and I'm going to talk like Gandalf. Gandalf the Grey eats his veggies. I thought, what better way to make up for my past sins but to punish myself with daily green smoothies?
Sounded like a good idea to me.
Yeah. You may be thinking, Eric, why did you think green smoothies were a good idea?
Why?
It's all laid out right here.
That is why.
In a list, how many items? 10 reasons why green smoothies. Shall we start?
We shall.
Begin.
Number 1, you're going to eat amazingly nutritious green food you haven't been eating, maybe ever. Now
True.
that spoke to you, right?
Yeah. Who wants to eat kale and spinach and Swiss chard and dandelion greens? Under any circumstances, you could cook it and melt it down into a little nasty, like slimy glob of green, gross crud on your plate that seeps a little liquid into the actual good food that you do want to eat.
Yeah.
Or you could blend it up raw, which we know if it's raw, it's got to be better for you.
True. True.
And we can just swig down for breakfast a huge dose of phytonutrients and all of those other good things.
Well, and this does assert that it's very nutritious, which is still the narrative about these veggies. What it doesn't mention is that the nutrients are bound up and there are anti-nutrients sort of stealing the nutrition.
Yeah, well, let's not...
Or damaging it. Let's not go too far.
Let's not jump ahead.
Oh, okay. So yes, beautiful.
Okay,
Number
so the
2,
second one, you don't have to use high-fat, chemical-laden salad dressings to get it down. So obviously, there's an acknowledgement that these things taste awful and that in order to eat enough of them, you've got to slather them with things that actually mask the flavor. And that spoke to me at the time because I had not developed a salad I liked.
I actually liked salads at this time.
Yeah.
I really did. But salads with like romaine, nothing too fancy, kale no, spinach tasted like dirt to me. And I was not much of a veggie eater either. I was raised on canned vegetables. So some of these aren't even classified as veggies, but I would eat green beans, corn, and peas primarily. Anything that was bitter, not good. And I found out from 23andMe that I have that bitter tasting gene. So I thought, oh my gosh, I'm doomed. Like, I can't eat bitter vegetables. I absolutely need to get it down some way. Oh, I tried broccoli so many times.
Eating it is actually sort of a little miniature death every time you eat broccoli, unless it's slathered with butter, salt, maybe cheese or something
Right.
like that.
So I did the salad dressing to get a lot of things down.
Okay.
This was me. And that salad dressing had seed oils.
Oh, tons of it. And actually, to be fair, this author does say rancid refined oils like soybean and other vegetable oils. So they're on the right track with that.
All right, number 3. You will be living the way God or nature has always intended you to eat, similar to the way animals related to humans eat. So I'm assuming they're talking about, primates.
Yeah, they're talking about chimps.
Chimps, did they have their Vitamix blender? And
They did, but the chimps, way back in the day,
yeah.
ate like a fish one day, and God said, no Vitamix for you for the rest of your life. Your gut has to do it. And so cursed them with a ginormous large intestine in order to digest those.
So they've got a built-in
Now
vitamin.
that's in the Apocrypha, so you won't find that in your King James.
You're telling me then that, which is kind of true, that they have an internal Vitamix.
Yeah, that's
in a
why
way.
their belly is so distended, is because they are built to digest all that fiber. Number 4, a high-power blender breaks down walls of cellulose better than your teeth can, making nutrition immediately available and pre-digested. To the extent that it does break that down and make the nutrients more available, what else does it also make more available?
What?
All of the sugar, all of the carbs.
Yeah.
So basically, it's going to give you a ginormous blood sugar spike
Yeah.
and the corresponding insulin rise, which it did for me.
And the oxalates and the phytates and all the other things that are in there.
You get immediate release of all the oxalates. To be fair, on this author's YouTube channel, she did a phase of no sugar at all, so no fruits. And I tried that unsweetened smoothie thing. Let me just say, it's an enhanced interrogation technique on yourself.
I could never do it. That's why I would fall off. I could never do anything without massive amounts of fruit.
5, green smoothie prep is the highest impact task you can undertake in your kitchen, the highest and best use of your time. And there's a subpoint here that salads involve chopping. So there's a point that it's very fast and efficient. And I would say that I did find it fairly fast and efficient, but there was so many trips to the store to get fresh produce because I was constantly going to get giant, what do you call them? Bales of kale?
Bales of kale, I like it.
Giant bales of kale, because I would eat like half a bale of kale per smoothie.
I was trying to reduce the pesticides and everything on them. So I was bringing that produce home and doing this extensive wash process where it would soak a bit and something and then
it was a time consuming.
it was, but it says this is the best use, highest and best use of your time.
Debunked. All right, number 6.
You get more live enzymes in blended green drinks than in any other food. She believes this is the #1 deficit in the American diet, lack of enzymes.
So the theory is that because we cook food, we kill the enzymes.
Okay.
And so if you're having raw vegetables and then you're blending it to get them even more released, you have more access to the enzymes. And I do know that some carnivores even have to add some digestive enzymes, at least for a while. But that is because their previous diet has destroyed their own body's ability to digest.
Let's move on.
7, smoothies retain all the fiber in the plant without massive cleanup compared to juicing. So that's true. I did mention at the top that there's massive cleanup with juicing. But I wouldn't say that retaining all the fiber and putting it into your gut avoids all of the massive cleanup. To the author of this, I'm sorry. If you had a great YouTube channel, good for you. We just disagree with you entirely on every single point.
But we didn't. So many people trying to seek better nutrition, better health, And this one was a fail.
This was bad.
Green smoothies are fast to prepare and fast to eat.
This feels like a repeat of the kitchen efficiency one.
It does sort of, but they're the fast to eat part.
Yeah.
I would take a straw and try to suck it to the back of my throat so that I couldn't taste it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, pretty fast, pretty efficient.
Well, you know that I've always been a fast eater.
Yes.
But when carnivore came around, it slowed me way down.
Oh, yes.
And this sparks this thought. If you think about first principles and the evolution of human species, what were they eating fast? Was the digestion designed to take giant liquid vegetables in a huge bolus in 4 minutes?
It said something about the animals, the chimps doing it, right?
The chimps don't, though.
They
Eat
don't.
it and then it digests over a long period of time. So I think I get an F to that point. Just based on it's not even a desirable thing to eat fast.
I get what you're laying down. Number 9, you have a lower impact on the environment and you're eating lower on the food chain. Now, this is, of course, up for debate, very questionable. What I do know is that a lot of those veggies were not local to my area at all. So I do know minimally that there was a lot of transportation to get them to me.
Yeah.
A lot of transportation to get to the store.
Yep.
There was a lot of insecticide used in that process. So there is a debate about environmental impact.
But did you know no animals have to die or be miserably penned up in a too small cage or stall to satisfy your caloric needs today? It's amazing that you can have all of the kale and spinach and no animal has to die in the field when it's being cultivated.
None at all.
The vegetable farmers of the world have equipment that electronically detects the shrews and moles and gerbils,
No
the shrews and moles and other rodents, and it avoids them with technology, which is good. Just to be clear, it's good because otherwise millions of them would die.
I was going to say the 7 dwarves also come out and can harvest a little bit.
Good point. What
Yeah.
they do is they have Snow White.
Yes.
She goes to the side of the field. She sings.
Oh, yes.
What does she sing? What's her song?
A dream is a wish.
No, that's Cinderella. Why do I know that? I have a daughter.
Oh, what does she sing?
Is it Someday My Prince Will Come?
Yes, that's it.
She sings Someday My Prince Will Come. All the animals leave the field to go circle her and do a little ring dance around her, and then the dwarves come in and harvest everything real quick.
That's for those who don't have the high-tech equipment.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, number 10. Green smoothies actually taste good. Almost anyone will drink them, including the vegetable phobic and the very young. I found that with a banana and peanut butter and some whey protein that's flavored, they can be very tasty. Getting the very young to drink it, my N of 1 experiment back in the day when our daughter was young and watched me drink them, the answer was no. Not even gonna touch her lips.
She will even bring it up sometimes. Yeah. Remember when you made me ... And it didn't work for me. I wasn't young, but I was vegetable phobic, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And remember before we had the Vitamix, we had a Ninja blender, and it had 2 blades, 2 levels of blades. Oh. But it could not get those kale stalks down to liquid form. And so instead of a smoothie, we had a...
Chunky.
Which was also great for my digestion.
Yes, it was.
We have mocked it mercilessly from the position of being carnivores, which you know makes us insufferable. So if we flip these from the perspective of carnivore, if you go carnivore, you're not going to be eating anti-nutritious green food that you have been eating.
Or
perhaps
trying
for a lifetime.
To force down.
Yes.
Well, if you are carnivore, you don't have to worry about the high-fat, chemical-laden salad dressings to get it down.
Yeah, so that one's the same.
That's the same.
You will be living the way God or nature has always intended you to eat. Not similar to the way animals related to humans eat, because They're not humans.
You won't even need a high-power blender to break down the walls of cellulose.
Yeah.
The cows do it for you. They break all that down and make it into actual nutrition.
So you could say that cows are our Vitamix.
Cows are our vitamins. I like that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will see them very differently from now on, and I'll never put my hand near their mouth.
It does make the nutrients immediately available, which we can testify is true based on our carnivore bathroom habits.
Carnivore prep is the highest impact task you can undertake in your kitchen, the highest and best use of your time. Take out a frozen burger patty, throw it in the air fryer, and then come back in 7 minutes and eat it.
Amazing.
Or throw it on the grill with a thermometer in it and come back in 25 minutes or whatever, however big it is. I mean,
not a patty.
No, like a tenderloin, right?
Yeah,
It would
yeah.
be like that. You don't have to worry about live enzymes from plants if you don't eat any plants. We'll admit, the enzyme one is a little bit of a puzzler because I don't know what I'm talking about.
We are not professionals.
There's honesty. See, we have intellectual honesty. We may be mocking this mercilessly for your entertainment, but on occasion we'll run into anything we're like, well, we're just not going to say that because we don't know. So with our insufferability, at least you get honesty.
There you go.
All right.
With carnivore, we don't worry about the fiber that is in plants.
No, in fact, we avoid it at all costs.
And most of us are better for it.
Unlike a green smoothie, carnivore requires us to actually chew our food and eat slowly so we can help with our satiety signals.
With carnivore, you have a neutral impact on the environment and you are eating higher on the food chain.
Yeah, which is what we're supposed to eat. Now, whether it's neutral or neutral good, sounds like Dungeons and Dragons alignment, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does.
Which I shouldn't have admitted I even know anything about.
Hey, there are people out there, I'm sure.
There's obviously some animal husbandry practices out there in the industrialized agriculture that aren't ideal and even bad.
Some carnivore I followed just talked about they'd rather just take one less trip
Oh,
by air a year
okay. Yeah,
for the
that would
environment
work.
than give up their meat.
I would love to take
Yeah.
one less trip since I never like to leave home ever.
Ever. Okay, this one
This
might
one
be up
might
for
be a
debate.
hard one for me.
Carnivore actually tastes good. Almost anyone will eat carnivore, including the meat phobic and the very young.
Well, I have a storied aversion to beef, but I do like chicken. Our N of 1 with our daughter says no child in our house will want to eat beef or chicken or pork.
When I first got her on to baby food, I gave her meat.
Yeah.
It was pureed. Big mistake there. Big mistake. Didn't know that I should have just given her the bone. But she did eat meat, and then once she got to a certain age, it was over.
That was the age of when pasta and bread and Nutella took over.
Yeah,
And then her palate shifted to, ooh,
yeah.
that's good.
So I think it's possible for the very young, but it is a big challenge if they've already been exposed.
Yeah, I
to
think
the
if you
other.
go straight to the meats and skip the sweets, it's like Johnny Cochran. I'm not sure that works, but I like it, so we're going with it. So have we successfully flipped the script on green smoothie diet and explained how each one of these points mostly can be flipped in support of carnivore? I don't know, I'm asking you. We did it.
We declare that it is done. And now I'm going British or something. I don't know. We declare that it is done.
I don't know. Marie, rate our accents.
Oh, geez.
I think it's only fair.